Hey everybody, Eric with Morris 4x4 Center. Welcome to the back of our warehouse. Today we've got a special video for you guys. We're going to give you an insider's look on the brand new Trektop NX Plus. Now, we're going to be installing it on this red Jeep back here, and we're going to show you, kind of an insider's look on all the features and the benefits that might drive you towards wanting to get an NX Plus. Now, it's a little noisy back here. Do got to apologize. My boys are hustling and bustling, ready to ship your orders out. They're working really hard. We always stay busy over here. So stay tuned and follow me along. I'm going to put the soft top on this Jeep, and then we'll go over all the benefits for you guys. All right, so we're going to get started installing the Trektop NX Plus. It's typically about a 3 to 4 hour process if you've never installed a soft top before. Hopefully we'll get it done a little bit sooner for you guys with the help of some movie magic. But anyways, we're gonna get started. First things first, you gotta install the rear door surround. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. And we only loosely install the door surrounds. Once they're all in and we have all the brackets attached, we'll come back and tighten everything up. All right, so next we've got the front door surrounds, and then these are our Sunrider pivot brackets. They get installed right here into these two little holes on the front door surrounds. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna put the front door surrounds on the Jeep. Yeah, probably now. All right, then of course, whatever you do to one side, you have to repeat to the other. All right, now we're moving along to install the front door surrounds on the Jeep, and one thing I wanna point out is that when you go to install these on the roll bar, there's a little factory gasket up here. You want to make sure this doesn't get folded or it doesn't get pinched. There's a little foam piece on the door surround right here that lays perfectly in that little slot, and it'll keep all your water leaks and problems and air leaks in check. All right, now that we've got the front door surrounds on, you want to go ahead and lock down the door surround knobs, like I said earlier, to keep them loose. It just helps with installation. And now's the time to make sure everything's nice and locked down tight, because this is the last time you'll be touching these. All right, so here's where things get a little bit interesting. You got to climb on top of the Jeep here and uncover the center section of the sports bar, which is pretty easy. You just peel back this front Velcro right here, and then it'll expose the zipper. You don't have to peel it back that far, just about right here. And then the two bolts that we need to unscrew are these two right here. They're 13 millimeters, so you need to either a ratchet or, in my case, an electric ratchet. And then just keep these aside, because you're going to take your Sunrider bracket and put these right over top of the holes, and then just reuse the factory bolts. What I like to do is start them by hand. All right, so this little bracket here needs to protrude through the roll bar padding, so we're gonna have to make a little cut. Now, it's very simple. What I like to do is I like to start zipping the roll bar padding closed so it's as close to the original position that it's gonna be. And you can actually see right here where the little bump is being made for the bracket. Okay, that's a little bit of a tight fit, but that's okay. I'd rather have it be too small than too large. And that's it. Then we zip this closed, put our Velcro back, and that is exactly what the finished product should look like. All right, so now that we've made those slits over here by the middle sports bar, what you want to do is go ahead and grab the rear bow of your Trektop NX Plus and just lay it across here for now. And then go ahead and take that same zipper that we unzipped. You're going to unzip it all the way to the rear. You kind of have to duck and weave around the door surround knobs. And that's going to reveal another 13 millimeter bolt right here on the very top of the rear sports bar. So we're going to go ahead and unbolt that, and then we have to make some more slits where these little tabs, which I'll show you, these little tabs right here on the rear bow have to go in through the padding, and then they're going to use those factory bolts again. right, so set that one aside. All right, now what you want to do is grab your rear bow and position it as best as you can so you can get an idea of where you're going to have to make this cut. All right, keep that out of the way. Again, grab your razor or very sharp knife, in my case a semi-sharp knife. Now again, take your time, make small cuts as possible. You don't want to make a big gaping hole. So now I'm going to put this aside and we're going to go do the same thing to the other side and then install the rear bow and lock down the bolts and zip the sports bars back up for the very last time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install the tabs through these cuts we've made in the roll bar padding. Now, a little word to the wise. You don't want to do one side at a time and then lock it down with the bolt. You need to get both tabs through the slots first, and then you can go ahead and lock these bolts down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do this side. I'll jump back over and do the other side real quick off camera, and then we'll come back in and tighten the bolts down. All right, so both tabs are through the slots we've created in the padding. Now we just bolt it back down with the 13mm bolts we removed earlier. I like to start them by hand first, make sure you don't cross thread anything. Now I'm just going to loosely install this bolt to make sure nothing gets twisted on the other side that I can't undo. And also make sure you don't get the roll bar padding pinched in the bolt. All right, so just loose. I'll jump around to the other side, lock it down, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so now that the other side is loose, we can position it correctly. Now we can install this bolt. Again, making sure we don't pinch the roll bar padding. We have to be able to zip this shut once we're done. All right, perfect. Now we're going to lock down the other side, and that's it. All right, now this is the part in the installation where Bestop wants to install the rear arch bar. Now there's little slots inside the door surrounds that you're going to put the ends of the arch bar into. It's pretty simple. What you want to do is start with the slot farthest from you, and then you use your hand to bow the arch bar so it will shorten, and then you get it into the slot that's closer to you. So we'll go ahead and do that now. All right, so this can be a little bit tricky. You just have to use a little bit of elbow grease and you'll get it in there. As you can see right now, it's too long, it won't reach. But again, you kind of bow it up in the middle, put it into place. It's that simple. Now the arch bar comes with a piece of white protective coating on it. We're gonna be laying the soft top fabric over this very soon, so you can go ahead and just peel this back right now and then just discard it. All right, so now what you want to do is grab the middle bow assembly. It looks like this, and there's these two little arms that are bent backwards. You want to go ahead and peel these forward. And then you can just rest it on top of the Jeep for the time being. Now, those first slits that we made in the center section of the sports bar, that's where these little spring-loaded tabs are going to attach to. So we'll go ahead and we'll attach them right now. And you just want to make sure that they're nice and held firmly in place. Now, once you have the main deck assembly, what you want to do is fold it upside down and lay it across the top of the hood. This will expose the main header and the two side bows, which are going to attach to these little tabs that we installed into the front door surrounds. So come follow me and we'll show you how that's done. All right, so off camera I had a little bit of help getting the top onto the Jeep. It's a little awkward just doing it by yourself, but it is possible. Anyways, so now that it's on top of the Jeep, it's just loosely on there, it's not bolted on. What you want to do is take the fabric and actually lay it across the top of the hood so the top will be upside down. All right, you do it just like that. And now we're gonna get back up on the Jeep. Again, this thing is like monkey bars. and I'll show you what you want to do to attach this top to the brackets. And there's that center bow that needs to attach to these side bows right here as well. So let's take a look at that. All right, so we're back on top of the Jeep again. And what you want to do is attach these sidebars to that little tiny bracket that we installed on the front door surrounds in the very beginning of this video. Now what's nice about the Trektop is Bestop has already gone ahead and installed these into the main header. Normally you have to kind of disassemble the header and screw these into place, so that's really nice about the Trektop Plus. So I'm going to go ahead, again it's just the spring-loaded knob right here. May have to use a little bit of elbow grease, everything's so nice and new. Nope, I didn't get it in quite. All right, there we go. You heard the nice snap, it's clicked into place. And that's basically it. Now, this center hoop that we have here, these little brackets right here, we have to attach to the sidebars of the main header assembly. So there's some hardware that we're gonna get out of the bag, and I'll show you what you have to do right here and attach that hardware. All right, now this part can be a little tricky. Basically, what we have here is you have a long Phillips head screw, and then there's these plastic bushings that have to be installed on the hole that comes off of this bracket. You want to take your time here, and what I like to do is install one bushing onto this bolt, install it into the hole, and then take your second bushing and install that, and then just hold it together with your fingers. Then you can go ahead and move over and install it into this side bow here. And that one seemed to cooperate quite nicely. Now there's a little nylon lock nut that comes with this, so you may have to lift up to get enough access room. And what I like to do is just thread it on by hand first, as tight as you can, and then we're going to move to the other side. We'll go ahead and tighten that down and install it, and then we'll come back to this side and lock it down in place. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room if you leave these loosely installed first. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you'll see me lock these back down, and that'll be finished. All right, so that pretty much wraps up all of the hardware for the Trektop NX Plus. Now what I'm gonna do is go ahead, take the top and fold it the way it should be laid across the top of the Jeep, and then I'm gonna fold back the Sunrider feature to this. There's some, Bestop includes some pieces of foam and also the loop section of Velcro that you're gonna install on the front header, and then the loop section of Velcro gets installed on the rear bows because that just helps keep the rear in place as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We'll show you how it's done. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, you've got these little pieces of foam that you install onto the header right here. They just help seal everything up a little bit better. So I'll show you how they're put on right now. Now, there's a second little piece of foam that gets installed on the very front part of this header right here. And it actually doesn't go on the plastic, it gets installed on the soft top itself. All right guys, now we take this loop field and we're going to install it on this rear bow right here. Now it is curved, so just take your time and do it as best you can. You don't have to get it 100% perfect. Just kind of, again, as best as you can, follow the contour. And that's it. And again, of course, we're going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, guys, now what you want to do is grab your soft top, the rear of it, and expose the cable. And what you want to do, it says in the instructions this time, to put it underneath this little bolt right here in the rear door surround. So you just wrap the wire underneath the bolt, and we move along here to the rear bow. And this spring has a little open hook at the end. This could be a little tricky, but do your best. I believe in you guys, and just clip it into that hole. Now from here, what you want to do is grab either a strong pair of pliers or vice grips, and we have to close that little hoop, so this will stay connected here and it won't come flying off. Pinch it down, and that's it. That's going to stay on there, and again, do the same thing to the other side, and you're done with that. All right, now I did get a little bit ahead of myself. We weren't supposed to install the cable underneath the little bolt just yet, so if you've already done that, I apologize, but I'm going to go ahead and remove these from both sides. Now there's snaps in the back of this, so that's why you can't have the cable attached. It'll give you enough leeway to pull the soft top all the way back. And what you have to do is this flap that has the snaps attached to it, you have to wrap it underneath the rear bow and then snap these into place. So I'm going to go detach the cable from that side, and we'll connect the snaps. And then after I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and take the cable and move it back underneath the bolt on the door surround. And what I'm doing here is I'm just rolling this flap underneath the bow, and I'm feeling with my fingers for the snaps. And then once I feel the snap, I go ahead and I push it tight, and it snaps into place. All right, so we've got the snaps installed. Now while we're in the tailgate of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and install the tailgate bar clips on the corners of the tailgate opening. It's as simple as that. You connect the back and just push it forward, and you'll hear it snap into place. All right guys, so we're almost done. All that's left to do is move the Sunrider to the forward position, and what we're going to do is attach the latches to the windshield frame, but we're not going to lock them down tight. We're just going to attach those. That'll give us enough pre-tension to be able to get the rear windows on, and then install the tailgate bar. Once that's into place, we lock down the front latches, and we are home free. So follow me along as I'll do all that for you. All right guys, so now we're going to install the side and rear windows. Now, what makes this special is the top section right here. It uses that new glide system, so there's no zipper on top. Now there is a zipper that's going to attach the side or the rear section of the side windows onto the rear window, so keep that in mind. It's not 100% like the Trektop glide, but it's pretty close. A lot of that technology does follow over, so follow me along while we get these windows installed. All right, so attaching the top is super easy. Again, it just glides right in, and that's installed. Now you want to open up the rear door, and now there's a 90-degree lip right here that you need to install into a slot in the door surround. Now the lip is covered with fabric that helps it stay in place. So we're just going to pull this around and press it in with our fingers. What I like to do is start with the top and then push it in, working my way down to the bottom. Now you have this little plastic lip on the bottom of the window that attaches into the channel on the body tub. We're going to leave that for last. I'm going to go ahead now and do the other side and then install the rear window, and then the last thing we'll do is come back in and clip these into place, and we'll pretty much be finished. All right, so we've got the back window now. Again, it uses that same glide system. There's no zipper on the top, but again, there are zippers on the sides that attach it to the back side of the quarter windows. So installing this is super simple. I'll show you how that's done right now. So basically, just take this off the rear window to one side and just line it up. It slides right into the slot. And then you just pull it all the way over and make sure the window is centered as best as possible. And now we can go ahead and attach the zipper to these quarter windows. Now, what I didn't mention earlier is there is a little strap with a snap on the back of these quarter windows at the bottom. This is going to attach to a little snap that's on the tailgate bar clips. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that now, and then we'll zip up the windows and we'll be pretty much done. All right, snap is in place. Now the zipper starts all the way at the top. You may have to get into the Jeep, which is what I'm going to do. And again, we're going to do the same to the other side. All right. So we've got both zippers zipped all the way down. I actually like to leave a little bit unzipped at the end because that'll help us install the tailgate bar a little bit easier. So now that we have this done, now what you're going to want to do is move over to the quarter windows and attach the bottom lip to the body tub, and then back here on the rear corners as well. Now you may have to pull down a little bit. This is the twill top, so it's definitely a lot tighter than the sailcloth. Again, just working it very slowly. Don't force anything. This is a brand new soft top, so things will be a little tight. All right, and then we're going to leave this little strip for very last. This actually covers up the tailgate bar section. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. All right, so now she's really starting to look like a soft top. We're on the home stretch. Before I put the tailgate bar on, I'm just going to attach the very top section of this top that's flipped back. That just allowed us easier access to the glide system on the very top for the side and rear windows. So I'm going to fold those down, and then I'll come down here and install the tailgate bar to the rear window, clip that in place, clip our last little channels into place underneath the door surround clips, and that is it. We are installed, and then after that, I'm going to talk to you guys about the benefits of having the Trektop NX Plus and some of the features and why you might want this top on your vehicle. All right, so we're curling the tailgate bar, getting it into the clips. Make sure you push it in there. It's got these rubber gaskets on it that holds it in place. It's really nice and tight. And then from there, finish up the zippers. There we go. All right, guys, so I just finished clamping down the latches. That's the very last step that you want to take when you're installing this soft top, and she's good to go. She's looking great. I really like the look of the Trektop NX Plus. Now, a couple key features about this soft top that I want to talk to you guys about. All right, so some of the improvements that have been made to the Trektop NX Plus, of course, one is those rear windows, the glide system that attaches it to the actual top portion or the main deck of the soft top. That's so much more convenient. Those windows, they slide on and off very quickly. I really love that. So removing the 3 rear windows and converting this into a bikini top happens like that. It's super quick, very easy, and it saves your fingers. Those old zippers on the older versions, they really did a number on my fingers when I would install and use these tops, so I really like that. That is a super awesome feature. Now, the next huge improvement for the Trektop NX Plus is the brand new design of the Sunrider feature. Now, before, the old tops, if you wanted to flip back the Sunrider, it was this big long movement. It was really heavy, and there was a lot of pinch points where you can pinch your fingers. It wasn't really that great of a design, although cutting edge at the time. So with this new Sunrider feature, you can actually do this while you're sitting in the driver's seat at a stoplight. It's very quick, and you can do it with just one hand. Once you unlatch the latches, grab that nice center bar, and you can just fold it back quick, and you've got that bright sunroof feature open with the sun shining on you. Super convenient, very easy to use, and I'm actually going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you right now. See, it was as simple as that. All right, so as you can see, that was super easy to use. I really like that. I love using the Sunrider. I actually drive a 2006 TJ Unlimited that's got the Sunrider. I use it all the time, but in my TJ, it's a little more difficult than that. So I may be trading that in for a JK here pretty soon. All right, so why would you want the Trektop NX Plus? Well, there's a few reasons. This is going to be for the type of person that doesn't really require the full convertible top, but really loves that fastback look. You know, these pay a tribute to the older Humvees, or you speed freaks out there might say it pays tribute to the older Mustangs out there. I really like those old fastbacks. But anyways, so if you really enjoy that look, but you don't require a full convertible, this top might be for you. Now, especially if you really like to use a bikini top, this is great. You're going to be able to take those rear windows out really fast and put them back in really fast in case it starts to rain like it has been doing here while we've been shooting this video. It's 95 degrees outside with humidity, so I apologize for all the sweat that you've been seeing me drip all over the floor. So another feature, again, if you don't really require the full convertible, but then sometimes might want that open air experience at, you know, the flip of a switch basically. Again, the Trektop NX Plus, that Sunrider feature folds back very quickly. You can basically do it if you run up to a stoplight, pop the latches, and you can flip it back and then be on your way with that open air experience with the Sunrider feature. So that is super great as well. Now, if you're the type of person that does require a full convertible, you might want to look at the Trektop NX Glide. Again, it looks just like this top. It pays homage to those Humvees with the fastback look, but it's a full convertible. So the Trektop NX Plus might not be for you if you do require that full convertible feature. So just some things to keep in mind. I just wanted to go over the type of person or the type of driving experience that you might be looking for and why the Trektop NX Plus would fit that particular experience for you. So guys, that was the brief installation and overview of the Trektop NX Plus. Now this again is the twill model. They also offer it in black diamond, and of course it's available in all those specialty colors that Bestop just released as well. So definitely check them out on our website, www.morris4x4center.com. And of course, my sales team is standing by waiting to answer any questions, or if you need to place an order, definitely give them a call at 1-877-553-5337. And of course, drop us a line at sales@morris4x4center.com if you're not able to call. Now guys, you see that little subscribe button right there? Please click on it, do me a favor, follow us on YouTube and of course all the social media platforms, because we always are posting content all the time, just like videos you just watched, so you don't want to miss out on it. Engage with us on social media, be part of the Morris 4x4 family. Again, my name is Eric with Morris 4x4, and I hope to see you on the trail.